Weakness has become normal today, but being weak is quietly ruining your potential. If you want to live with purpose, you have to do hard things to break free from comfort. So let's get practical. I'm going to give you 8 hard things plus one bonus at the end that are going to help you break free from the cycle of passive and pointless living. But first, why do hard things? Well, it's quite simple. If you don't do hard things, you'll continue to age in numbers, but you'll never mature as a person. You'll never actually age on the inside. 5 more years will have passed and you'll still be reacting to life in the same way. You'll have the same patterns, you'll have the same regrets, you'll have the same behaviors. Picture a spoiled kid for a second. They have no boundaries, they defy their parents, they have no responsibilities and take no responsibility. They're pretty miserable all the time, and when things don't go their way, they cry and complain. And you have to ask the question, how did this kid get this way? They didn't just one day magically appear as a bad kid. Maybe some personality affected that, but mostly they weren't pushed, they weren't challenged in any way. They weren't forced to reconcile with things that didn't go their way. They just gave up or quit or complained their way out of situations, and their parents never helped them fix that. The result was they stayed entitled, they stayed expecting life and the world and other people to bow down to them. And here's the twist. You and I are like this child on the inside still in many ways. We complain when things don't go our way. We throw adult tantrums by quitting things when we don't feel like we're succeeding at them, and we numb out on our phones. But thankfully, like any child, we can also get back on the right path through self-denial, through discipline, through doing hard things. And that's what I'm trying to get at here. Your life starts to make sense when you stop doing easy things, when you stop taking the easy way out, and when you start living for purpose by challenging yourself. So yes, doing hard things is going to make you happy. And that's because strength feels better than weakness naturally. We all want to be strong. We don't want to be weak, but it's because it's the easy way out that we often opt for weakness instead. There's hope. When we stop being selfish, we can learn to love discipline. We can learn to become better people by being more disciplined. So let's jump right into the list. Number 1 is going to be exercise. If people aren't forced to exert themselves, they typically don't want to do anything physical, which makes sense, but it's actually a big mistake because we're designed to be physical beings. We're designed to push ourselves. Our brains are wired for challenge and competition and to strive toward physical goals. If we don't work out, we're getting a weaker mind, we're getting a weaker body every single time, a little bit each time. It's a very gradual decline, but it does add up over the years. And it's not just about being in shape or getting fit or looking physically strong. It's about resistance, an ongoing battle with your mind, training and cultivating your mind to be more sharp, to be more astute, and to be more disciplined in that sense. If you want to start doing hard things, start here. Number 2 is going to be taking cold showers. One of the reasons people stay weak today is that they can't tolerate pain very well. Anytime something hard comes up, they'll run from it immediately before trying to actually confront it because it hurts. The fix for this is going to be learning to tolerate pain through practice. Cold showers are going to be a great way of doing that because it forces you to tolerate pain for a certain amount of time and sit with it and not run from it. And it's going to be completely free. It's going to be very simple. At the end of your normal shower, just turn the water to cold for 1 minute and don't run from it. Breathe through it. This is going to train you to become comfortable being uncomfortable. You're going to learn how to sit through challenges in the rest of your life through doing this without feeling the need to run from them. And like I said, just being comfortable in those hardships. Number 3 is going to be reading a classic book. People often don't slow down in today's society, and that's because we're trained to scroll and skim through things and really sprint through life to reach some imaginary finish line. The issue here is that it's making us anxious. It's not letting us go deeper into anything. We live shallow lives and we never achieve anything real because we're on the surface all the time. Reading classic books is going to be a perfect fix for this because it forces us to slow down. It forces us to engage with something complex. It forces us to go deeper. It stops our sprint. If you want to start getting into classic books, it's going to be helpful, and I recommend starting with anything from probably before the 1960s or 1950s. Number 4 is going to be decluttering. Look around your room for a second. Look in your closet, look on your desk, look under your bed. Chances are there's some sort of mess there or things you don't need. And it's not that it's just there. Things can't really be neutral in life. They're either adding to your life and building you up and giving you life, or they're taking away from it. Look at your phone for a second. Thousands of unread emails, playlists that you don't listen to, notes that you haven't even looked at in years that aren't serving you at all. They're hiding in plain sight and making you anxious. They're reinforcing this message to your brain that you tolerate chaos, that you're okay with being weighed down by things. That translates to real life when people put things on you and you're okay with that because you've been okay with it in your personal life. The next step toward peace for you is creating space. You have to create actual physical space around you, in your room, in your phone, in your life in general, whatever it may be. Take that next step. Notice what the mess is around you and start to clean it. Number 5 is going to be paying attention to what we eat. We eat like addicts almost, like we're chasing the next hit. We eat almost dessert for breakfast. We'll eat a mindless lunch. We'll eat midnight snacks that we don't even remember eating. We've come to expect pleasure from our meals. We've come to be entitled to. We feel that we deserve that. And it's quite frankly childish. It's not a grown-up acting. It's that spoiled kid inside of us saying, I want this when I want it, and I want it how I want it. And if I don't get that, I'm going to complain and cry. You're not a kid. Food doesn't exist to entertain you. It doesn't exist to please you at every whim. It exists for fuel. That's the point of food. And yes, it tastes good and there's nothing wrong with that. But when we eat whatever we want, we can't live meaningful lives. You really can't have meaning when you just chase whatever you want, whenever you want. That goes for food as well. This is going to be an externalization of your life. The way you eat is going to represent your life. Do the hard thing. Deny yourself. There is freedom on the other side of this one. Number 6 is going to be watching what we drink. Very much in the same light of eating, we have to be careful with just reaching for alcohol or juice or caffeine or whatever pleases us. It's fine once in a while, but when we become dependent on it, when we drink because our feelings are compelling us to, that's not normal. Again, it's fine to want these things, but it's more important to be free from them. We should be choosing them because we choose them, not because our desires choose them for us and we have no say in the matter. If you can't go 1 month with only drinking water, there's a good chance that you are a slave to these desires. That's making you weak. That's taking away your purpose. You don't have self-control in that area of your life. Break the hold that these addicting drinks have on you and take a week with only drinking water, or at least take a few days to make sure that you're not stuck and enslaved by these things. Number 7 is going to be one that a lot of people don't really do, and that's going to be flossing. 60% of people don't floss every night, and it's hard, it's boring, it's tedious, it's the same thing every single night. And that's the whole point. That's why flossing is on this list, because it's training consistency in you over years. If you do this every night, you're doing this small habit that's discipline, that's self-denial, that takes a little bit of extra time. And you're training to train the consistency part of your brain over the novelty and excitement part of your brain. So try that. Start flossing if you don't as soon as you can. Finally, number 8 is going to be start asking yourself hard questions. Most people don't really go deeper into what they're doing. They reenact the same patterns they've been doing for the past 10 years. They do things that they did as a child. They do things that they learned from their family or friends. And part of that is fine because we're all naturally built to do that. But what we need to do is actually question what we do. Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." If you don't examine what you're doing, how are you really going to know if you're living a meaningful life? What if you're way off course and you've never stopped to ask? You're not here to drift. You're here to live your life. You're here to live with purpose. You want to. It's inside of you. So stop and ask someone to ask you hard questions. If you can't find anyone, ask ChatGPT to ask you hard questions and answer honestly. You need to know. As promised, here's one bonus tip. Do something that scares you. A lot of people avoid fear, obviously, because we're afraid of the things that make us afraid. But here's a quote from Jordan Peterson. "You'll find what you're looking for where you least want to look." What he's trying to get at is the life you're looking for is usually in the places that you're most afraid to confront. Maybe you're afraid of pursuing a certain relationship because it's risky, because you have to be vulnerable, or maybe you're afraid of pursuing the next opportunity for you professionally or creatively because you're afraid of rejection or failing. Whatever it is, name something this week and confront it. It doesn't have to be huge or dramatic. It can be something small, but start confronting things that you're actually afraid of because it will add more meaning to your life and you'll find what you're looking for on the other side. So those are 9 things that will help you snap out of the comfort spell that's been put on you by culture. And now it's time to test yourself. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." You are made to live better. Like I said, it's inside of you. You want it already. Show that you want that strength by living it out. You don't want to live a weak life. You want purpose. Thanks for watching. If anything hit you, you can let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. See you next time.